Fine. Good morning, all. This is Sadiq here. So today we'll see about the mail merge feature of Microsoft Word. So you know what exactly is mail merge. So generally, when I talk about mail merge, mail represents for a letter. So generally, when I talk about a mail, mail stands for a letter. Okay. So that means okay. And see, generally, when you talk about a mail, a letter consists of two things. One, something which is the address to whom you're sending the letter. The other one is the actual content. Now, you want to send this particular letter to multiple recipient. So what happens is your content is going to be the same, but the same content has to be delivered to the different recipient. So in that case, what exactly mail merge does is it says you can maintain the contact separately, the address details separately, the content separately. And when you want to send this letter to this particular set of people, so you can just merge and you can send. So this is a very useful feature in the corporate world. So where you want to send some kind of a circular or some kind of a notices to a group of people, to a particular department or all the employees, some kind of a information, a common information you want to share. So in that case, instead of writing a document letter again and again and with the different addresses and then mailing it or taking a printout and sending, so I can maintain the contact separately and the address, content separately, body of the letter separately. We can merge and we can send it in one shot. We can send to all the recipient. So that is the use of this particular mail merge. So we'll just see how do we do this particular mail merge. So let me start off with the Word for doing this mail merge. So I'm just starting Microsoft Word. We'll just see an example. How do we go for the mail merge? So let me open a blank document itself. Okay. So I've just opened the document here. So now if you want to go for the mail merge, so what we do is, so you can see in the top we have, so that is in the ribbon, I have this particular tab called as a mailings. So you can see there is a tab here called as the mailings. I'll get into the mailings. And in the mailings, we have those options of creating as envelope or labels or a start mail merge. Select the recipient to whom you want to send. We have the various options. So here, since I said it is you're going to write a letter and send to the multiple recipients. So here, something like, you need to maintain the addresses of all the recipients. So we need to maintain the document. So when the letter that you want to send to all the recipient, then we need to have this particular concept of merging. So when you're merging, you need to know where exactly the address has to be there, where exactly the content has to be there. So it looks little tricky things, a little difficult things, but it's not a difficult. But still, this kind of a concept, if you want to do it, so Microsoft has provided with a feature called as a mail merge wizard. So you can see under the mailings, we have this option called as a start mail merge wizard. And here under that, you can see we have this thing here called as step-by-step mail merge wizard. So generally when I talk about a wizard, what is a wizard?
No,
you can see here a small magic stick is there. Okay, a magic stick. What a magic stick will do is something like, what a magician does. Something which is impossible, with the help of this particular sticks, he makes it possible. Abracadabra. Fine. So generally I say, so when you find some kind of a difficult job, so that can be easily done with the help of this particular kind of a magic stick. So wizard is doing the similar kind of job of a magic stick. Okay, so what it does is it just guides you step by step how to achieve this particular mail merge wizard. And okay, and it'll be very easily you can create this kind of mail merge with the help of the wizard. So that is why it's called as a step-by-step mail merge wizard. So how do we do this mail merge? Step by step. So I'll just go to this step-by-step mail merge wizard. As soon as I click on this particular step-by-step mail merge wizard, so what happens is on my right-hand side, okay, on my right-hand side of the Word document, I get this particular pane. We call this as a pane, or people call it as blade also. So yeah, so we call it as pane, or people even call it as blade. So it is telling that, okay, fine, you're going to do something called as a mail merge. In this, what are the things you're trying to do? So we are going to do something like, first we are going to select a type of document on which you're trying to create a mail merge. The document can be a letter, it can be email message, envelope, it can be labels. Like, sometimes, you want to print all the labels, and on the envelopes, you want to print that labels, and then you want to send, okay, or directory. So now what I will do is I want to create a letter. Okay, so I'll select the default option as letter, and you can see in the bottom it says step 1 of 6. That means there are totally 6 steps, out of which you are in the first step. The first step is what? Selecting the type of document. The first step of the mail merge wizard is selecting what type of document you want. So we have selected the default one, that is a letter. And then I want to go to the next step. So you can see here, so below 1 out of 6. So it says next, starting a document. Now we are going to select what document you want to create. I just click on next. You can see I have gone to the second step. Now the second step of the mail merge is what? Select the starting document. So what are the steps? The first step was select the type of document. What type of document was the first step? The second step is you're selecting, okay, starting document. That means which document you want to use. Okay. So again, in this, we have the 3 options here. Use the current document, start from the template, or we do also have this particular thing called as start from the existing document. Fine. So now, when I say use the current document, that means, see, where is the letter? See, it might happen a letter you have typed it yesterday, or my colleague has typed and he has given the letter. That letter I want to mail merge it. So in that case, what I do, I say select from the existing document. Okay, so that means the letter is already saved. I need to select that letter, take the addresses, and then merge. So in that case, I'll be using this select an existing document, and there you have the option of more files open, and you can see it says browse, and then you'll be selecting the document if you already have a letter. So now, say example, I have not written a letter. I want to use the same document. So in that case, I can use the same document. Apart from that, we do also have a template. So here you get a ready-made template from the Microsoft Word, a letter or something. So we get some kind of orthography letter or different letters which has been provided. I can just make use of this letter and you can send it. So now for the time being, what I will do is I'll use the current document. That means the currently open Word document, I want to consider this is my letter where I will be typing a new letter here. Okay, this is your second step of your mail merge. First step, we have selected the type of document, that is we have selected a letter. Second, we have selected what is the document you want to use. I'm using the current document, that is currently open document I'm trying to use. Fine. Then I'll go to the next step here. So next step is select the recipient. That means once you have written a letter, to whom you want to send the recipient. So here, so in this, use the current document, you might write a letter. So I say, I want to write a letter. I'll just say, I just wanted some 2 paragraphs of text. I say some 3 paragraphs of text. So I say, this is my letter. So I want to send this letter to the multiple recipient. So now what I'll do next, so third step is, what is the third step here? Select the recipient. You want to send this. The recipients are nothing but the receivers who's going to receive the letter. So when I hit on this next, you can see it says, yeah, select the recipient. Okay, the third step of the mail merge is selecting the recipient. So it says use the existing document. Okay, so I'm using the existing document, existing list. That means again, recipient is the receiver. See, in the organization, what happens once you have all the employees join, all their particular database will be maintained, their addresses and their designation, all the information will be maintained. Okay, so once it has been maintained, whenever you want to send a letter, we take a letter and we just post to the existing contact list. Fine. So now, right now you make use of the existing list, or you want to create a new list. Use the existing list is if you already have the particular address list. So we can select that particular things and you can use it. I think right now we don't have it. So what we will do is, okay, so you can even take the list from the Outlook contacts. If you have maintained the Microsoft Outlook, where we maintain all the email IDs, contacts, and all those things, even you can pick from them. So now what we'll do is, since I have not maintained any particular addresses or anything here, so I'll type a new list. So that means when I say type a new list, means I'm creating the new set of contact list, that is the address list. Fine. I'll type a new list, and you can see when I say use an existing, it says browse and then select. But if I say select from the Outlook, it says choose the Outlook folder. So when I say type a new list, it says to create. Now I will be creating a list of database. That means all the contact address. So for doing that, so what I've done in this, select the recipient, I've selected type a new list, and I'll go for the create. That means I'm going to create a new list of addresses. I just click on this create. Okay, so when I click on this create, you can see it says create a new address list. That means here you're creating the list of all the contact address. So in this particular addresses, so you're going to give this. So title, I just say Mr. I just say my name, say Sadiq, say company, I say Kenpro. So address line, I say I'm just writing this particular address. I just say okay. Home phone number, I just give some numbers, fine. So work phone number, fine. I just give email ID. I just say Sadiq at India at hotmail.com. Fine. I've created one address. So you want to create a new one? I can just say tab, or you can hit a new entry. So I'll just say Mr. Okay, Sam, say Benjamin. I just say he's working for Case Off. Okay, I just say okay. So I can just contact the same thing. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to enter everything. Fine. I'll just say Mr. John. Company. I'll just say okay, let us have some contacts. Fine. Okay, so like this, you can add list of addresses and things. So now you can see in this particular address list, we have some predefined set of fields. Like say, title is there. What is the title of that? We have what is the first name, what is the last name, what company this particular employee is from, what is the address. So we have some set of fields. Now I want to modify this. I want to customize this. So we do also have this option of customizing the columns. You want to redefine this column. Like say, I want to know which company or say company name is there, which department he is working. I want to include those things. So I can go to the customize columns. Okay. Say example, I don't want to have an address line too. I can just delete that. Or you want to add some columns. Say example, I want to add a column called as department. That means which department this employee is working for. I'll just say, okay, fine, it is added, and I want this department to be below the company. Okay, so you can just say, and you can see it has been recustomized. So address line 2 has gone, but department has come. So I just say software, I say training, say HR or something. Fine. So I can customize this. We can have this. So that means here what I've done is I have created the list of addresses. Okay, so once I have done with this, I'll just say okay. Okay, so when I say okay, so what it says is save this particular address list. That means you're going to do this only one time. So every time you're not going to create this kind of a addresses. So what I will do is, okay, so that once I save this, I can call this particular list of address. I just say my address list. So I just give the name as say my address list, some name for this. Okay, company address name or whatever it is. I just say save this. Okay, I have saved this particular list of addresses also. I just say it as okay. Okay, so I have done this particular third step also. What was the third step I have done here? In the third step, so I have just selected the mail merge recipient. In the recipient, I have just selected, so type a new list and I have created a new list. Fine, I just went for this, create a new list. I have just created a new list. Now the recipients are ready. Next is what is that we needed. So next is you need to write a letter. I just hit on this and I've just already written this letter. If not, you can just write the letter, what is the matter, content and thing. So that is the fourth option. So that is writing your letter. So when you're writing a letter, so I say this is my content, but before the content, I need to have something called as a address block. Okay, so how do we write? I just say to, we write, and we also enter a date. So I want the date on to be on the right align. So I'll just go to the right align. I just say date. So today's date is 8th April 2025. So to whom you're writing. So I want address block over there. So now to get this particular address block. So this address block, I want to receive it from the contact list what I have maintained. So what I will do is I'll just say, okay, I'll just keep the position. And you can see when you're writing a letter, so you write the normal content and wherever you need this particular address, recipient details. So we have this. So you want to get an address block. So we have this address block. So what I will do is I'll just keep the cursor where I want it and I'll just hit on this address block. When I click on the address block, so you can see what happens. It gives me a sample preview of how address has to be. So you can see it says Mr. Sadiq Mohammed. So it says first Mr. last name and the first name, followed with the company name, comma, the file address line 1, then the city, the pin code, state, and the country where I am. So in this, you want to remove some options or you want to add, I say never include country or region. So you can see country or region is not included. Always include or so things other than US. So you can see this is the kind of addresses. I have 3 addresses. It shows the list of addresses. Kind of a pattern, how you want your name to be and all these things. So you can just look into it. So now if you're okay, this kind of fields, I just say okay. So that means here I have added an address block, which is going to retrieve the data from the recipient. That is your contact list, what you have maintained. So that is going to dynamically pick from there. For every recipient, it is going to have a different address. But rest all the contents what I have written, it is going to be the constant. Then, okay, I have an address block. And after the address block, so generally we use a greeting line. Okay, greeting line is to whomsoever it concerned, or like, you want to do a welcome or something. So what I do is, I can see here in this particular, the same fourth step. Okay, so where we have this particular, so write your letter. So we can see we do also have a greeting line. You want to include a greeting line, I just hit on this. This is how you want. I say, dear Mr. Sadiq, comma, yeah, you can see sir, or you want to have a dear sir, madam, or to whomsoever concern. Okay, so you can just select the kind of this one you want. I'll just say, dear Mr. Sadiq, this is a kind of a preview what it is showing. Or I just say, no, I want a first name as. So if I'm calling for the family, I just say Mr. and Mrs. So you can see the preview. Okay, I want a first name and last name together. Fine. I just say okay. Again, there is a greeting line. Okay. So, and then thanking you. Okay. So I just give my details here. Fine. I've just written the letter. So in the letter, okay, I have 2 fields, which has to pick from the recipient, and this is my constant, which I want to merge into all the addresses what is there in that recipient. Okay, so whatever the alignments and all these things we have done, indenting and all these things, as usual, we'll be doing it in the normal this one. Fine. Okay, once you have done this, okay, so that is we have done the step 4, that is writing your letter. Next is preview your letter. Preview means, so I want to see this particular letter with this particular addresses. Okay, with the addresses, what is there? So I'll just go to the preview your letter. So when I preview, we can see what happens. It says Mr. Sadiq, so and so. Okay, dear Mr. Mohammed Sadiq. So your details are this. So this is my first letter. So when I hit on this next, you can see I'm just selecting this next. So this is showing the addresses of the second recipient. So when I say again next, this is showing the addresses of the third recipient. It is just going like this. So I have written the letter once, and we can see it is a single page letter in the same page. So this is constant, whereas addresses are changing. Okay, so that means what I have done is I have previewed a letter, how it is going to look with the addresses and so on. Okay, so in this you want to do this particular, so what you say, the indentations and all these things, as usual you can just do that also. Okay, now once I have done this, now what I want to do is I want to complete the merge. Complete the merge in the sense, okay, I should be able to send this, okay, take a printout of this particular thing with the different recipient addresses. So now you can see the next step says, okay, complete the merge. So in this, you can see in the preview letter, we also have a exclude the recipient. Now you want to exclude some recipients. Okay, you don't want, so we can exclude it also. So you can see we have only 2 here. Okay, so I say edit, you can see it is excluded Sadiq and Alan. Okay, if you have a big list, so what happens to some people, I don't want to send the letter, so you can exclude that particular recipients also. Fine. Now I'll just go to the complete the merge. When I hit on the complete the merge, what is happening here? So mail merge is ready to produce a letter. So mail merge is ready to produce a letter. To personalize the letter, click and edit individuals. So now you can see it is ready for the delivery. That means it is ready for the printing. So now when I click on this particular print, okay, so it says click edit individual letter. So that means if you want an individual recipient to have a slight changes, you can go for the individual changes. So now what I will do is let me go for the print. Okay, when I click on the print, so it says what you want to print, whether you want to print with all the recipients or only some selected recipient. So when I say all and say okay, so that means you can see what happens. This goes for printing. So all, you can see it says all, and if I say okay, so it prints one by one. The first letter with the first contact address, again the same letter with the second recipient address, again the same letter with the third recipient address, it starts printing. Okay. Now example what I want is, it says edit the individual letters. So what does this means? See, when I'm writing this letter, so imagine like I'm inviting people for the meeting. So I say, I want to invite people like say some set of people, I want to call them at morning 10 a.m. for the meeting. So another few people I want to call it as 10:30 a.m. in the meeting. Okay, so in that slight changes, I want to make some small changes. So in that case, so what I will do is I'll just click on this edit individual letter. So when I click on this edit individual letter, so it says you want to edit only a specific letter, only a current letter, or only a specific range of letter. I say I want to edit all the letters. So when you have a huge list, only a particular department people you want to call at a particular time or something. So you can just say from letter 10 to 20 or something. You can just say, I just say all. So now this, what it is doing is, when you look into this, it has created a new a document altogether. This was the actual mail merge what I did. So when I clicked on this edit individual letter, so as soon as I clicked on this particular thing called as edit the individual letter, so you can see what it has done is, okay, before it was document 1, it has opened a new letter. Okay, and in this particular letter, you can see it has created with all the, so that means you can see it has created different letters with the what is it, same content and different recipient details. So now you can slightly modify, like I say, example for Sadiq, I want to call him in a I say a venue. I want to say for Sadiq, I want to call it say room number 1. I say for Sam, I want to call it at the conference room. So I say for another person, I want to call it him in a AV room or something. So you want to just give a small changes. We can edit individual and you can take printout from here. So you can have. So there I want to the same this one I just want to say in the other places. So I want to have a small changes, like here for this person I want to call it at say example instead of to say 11:30 I just want to say it's 11 or something. So this kind of changes and then you can print. So with this changes it goes. So if you don't want any changes, the same thing you want, you don't have to come to this particular window. Directly from here you can take a printout of all the documents. Fine. And then preview a letter is done. So that is a complete merge. Okay. All clear with this?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, fine. All have understood, no? People have any questions? See, mail merge is nothing but the concept of joining two things. That is, mail is a letter. So letter generally has two things. So one is your content, that is the matter that you want to pass it on, and the other one is to whom you want to send the recipient details. So here the recipient details are maintained separately, the content is being maintained separately. And then, okay, whenever you want to send the same letter to this multiple recipient, so I just write a letter, or if it is already written, you can pick up that letter, you can pick up the recipient details, and you can just say print, mail it. Okay. So all clear. Any questions? It's
No,
okay
sir.
with all, is it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear. Bhagya is clear?
Yeah, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. All are clear with this. So that is good. Okay. See, like, next time you want to do it, so we'll be just, you don't have to create that particular address, contacts, and all these things. Okay. So, fine. So next thing is what we will do is we'll see with this concept called as smart art graphics. Okay. So I'll just open a new document. And just opening a blank document. Okay. Now, what I want to do is smart art graphics. What is this particular smart art graphics? See, something like, you want to display some contents. Okay. Instead of displaying the contents in the form of a text, I want to display that particular contents in a graphical form. Okay, so it might be some kind of a list of contents, or it might be like you are trying to draw a kind of a life cycle, or you want to show a kind of a process. So I say, if you have to get connected to an online sessions, so first, okay, a meeting ID will be created, a meeting will be shared through the WhatsApp, and then so recipient will click that link, then join. So I want to show this particular step-by-step process. Okay, or you want to explain the hierarchy in an organization. So who is the head of the organization? Who is reporting under him? So under whom, who is that? So you want to show this kind of hierarchies or any this one. Instead of writing like a text in the form of paragraph, I can put it across in a graphical form, a pictorial forms. So for that, we have a feature called as a smart art graphics. So what I will do is, okay, first, okay, we can do various things. As I said, you can have a list, you can have a life cycle process, we can have a process, step-by-step process, or you want to have a hierarchies, you can explain anything in a pictorial format. So what I will do here is, if I'm creating this particular thing, smart art graphics, so I'll just go to the smart art graphics. Okay, so that is, again, you can see it is there in the insert tab. So smart art graphics there in the insert tab. So in the insert tab, I just get into the smart art graphics, and there you can see we have choose a smart art graphics. So we have a different types of graphics that you can use it. We have a list, we have a process, life cycle, hierarchy, even the relationships and all these things. Let us do one thing. So I just want to have some kind of a list of items. Okay, so I'll just select, so you can see so what kind of how you can represent a list. It shows some options here. So now I say I want to display some list of items one below the other. Might be I can just use a simple one. I'll just select this one. Okay, I'll just select this. Not taken. As soon as you add this smart art graphics, you have this kind of a graphic, and next to this, you can see a small arrow is there pointing. So here we can have your text box where you can actually type your text. So you can even type the text over here. So but it becomes more easy to type the text over here. So here you can see it shows a preview. So you want to have a main content and the sub contents. Okay. Say example, I see what are the applications are there in the MS Office. So we have something called as MS Word. Okay, I just say it's a Microsoft Word thing. Okay. So then I say I want to have a Microsoft Excel, say Microsoft PowerPoint. I've given this. So now I want to give some details about Word. So I want to say Word is a documentation software, is it? Yeah. Say Excel is a data analysis or some is used for data analysis. I say PowerPoint is used for presentation. When I go for this, okay, the content, so you can see we have okay main content and the sub content. So it is showing something like this. So now when you select like this, okay, it just shows the content. So now I want to change the look and feel of this. So as soon as you add the smart art graphics, you have this particular design option as well as the format option. The design option is you don't like this design, you want to change the design, always you can select. So you can see, okay, any new design, you want a different design, you can select it. You can see we have different designs here, how you want to put it across. I say I want to put it something like this, say Microsoft Word, it is used for this, Excel is used for this. So or I say no, something like this. And when you see here, I can use this when you want to have multiple bullet list, okay, sub contents. Okay, this is generally used like when you have one single sub list. So you can use it. Okay, I think. So now I see, I feel this is okay. This is flat, and you can see this is showing with an arrows pointing. Okay. Now what first thing is you are selecting a kind of layout that you want to have. The second thing is we have given the text that you want to have, and then we have the option of coloring. Okay, so now this is showing in a simple color, so I want to make it more colorful, more attractive and things. So what I've done here is I'm just selecting this particular change color option. So here you can see we have a primary which is colorless, I can say rather, okay, or a black and white, a gray or single shade or something. So you can see colorful, so you can see with multicolors, so you can select which kind of colors you like it and things. Okay, so you want to like go for a dark colors or lighter colors or things. I think I'll just go with this. I've selected, and then we have a we have selected the color. The next is we have a smart art style. How you want this particular style to be. So you can see we have this kind of a style. Um, uh, this is best matching for the document, a single. This is a 3D style. See, in the case of this and this, you can see some difference here. So this is very flat, and this is like you can see the edges are sharp with a kind of light reflection falling on that. Okay, um, so you can see it is twisted. Okay, you're twisting the thing. Yeah, so we can do that. So yeah, so we have a lot of features here. We can just select it. So how you want it to be displayed. So which one you want it, We can just give it. So you can see it just goes like, so twisting and tweaking has been done here. So from a 3D kind of effects has been given. So you get a complete raised effect on this and so on. Now you want to add more content, just go there. I just say after presentation, you press enter. I say, no, I want a main level. I just go with the backspace here. So main level, I say I want to have a Microsoft Outlook. So we use Outlook for what purpose? So then what I do, I just press enter. So it comes in the same level. I say, no, I want to give some option for that. Say tab, it just goes in. So just like how we did in the bulleting and numbering. So I say Outlook is used for managing emails. So managing meetings, say tasks. Okay, so you have multiple options. We can just type it, kind of fine. So you don't want this. So, and this is how it is going to appear. In a document, it is going to appear like this. I say, no, this is not that very clear. I want to come back to the normal. Sure. Clear? Or I say, no, I don't want like this. The text is invisible. So you can just go like this and show, okay, fine, this is going to be. Or sometimes, you want to have an icon, Word icon, Excel icon, PowerPoint icon, and then I want to have a meanings for that. So I want to have with a image. Okay, so I can show with the images. So you can see there are some options here. So it shows with the images. So here the text is very small. Yeah, Microsoft Word. So it is used for the documentation software. And I just want to have an image of a word. So I just hit on this image. See, one thing is when you're getting the image, either you can get the image from the local machine or you can even get from the internet also. So if you already have an image on your machine, I can just go to the from file and you can browse and you can select the image. Or I say, no, I don't have the image what I need for this. So I want to get it from the internet. You can get it. See, nowadays, people store the images on the OneDrive or a Google Drive or Dropbox and all these things. So you can even get from that iDrive, iCloud, or whatever it is there, you can get it. So I'll just go to the Bing. Bing is like your Google search engine. Okay, it's a search engine for Google. So I want to have a picture of a word. Sorry. It's fine. So I just want to have an icon like this. Might be. And just select insert. So you can see you got it. So same thing for the Excel. So I just go here. If it is a human being, like, even a person name, and then you can explain it also. Okay, so. Yep. I just want to have this kind of symbols. Okay, I think this should be fine. I just select it, insert, then images comes. So the same way I say for the Outlook. So sorry. Yeah, something like this. Or I say, no, I want to have a different layouts. You can see this is, I have not selected without the image. Yeah, with the images. Okay, so you can have a person name, the details of that particular person you want to explain. Or like when you look into this one, so you get images like this, and then the details of that. So something like in a learning process. So first you'll be learning Word, then you'll be learning about Excel. So under Excel, so example, you'll be learning many features like say data analysis or data summarization. So thing. So like this, you want to give those particular options, you can just give it. So I will be there. So PowerPoint settings. Good. Okay, and then you can change the look and feel of this, the way you want it to look. A complete kind of a graphic. Okay, so that means, see, in general, so your text is going to be, see, like, if I'm putting this in a normal text, okay, so I can convert this particular data into a text also. So what I'll do is I'll just copy. So I can try to have another result. I can convert this to a normal text also. So if you want to convert this to a text, you can just do one thing is just right click on this. So we have this as text, reset to the text form. Text name is this. So you can change the layout. You can also convert this to a normal text also. Hyperlink to text pane. Since there is the images, so it is not converting. See, if otherwise, if you're writing in the normal text, you'll be writing something like this. So if you're writing the text, you'll be writing something like this. Okay, so now you can see the difference. If I'm having the data like this and representing the same data in this particular way. Okay, so this looks like more attractive and more professional also, I think. And when you want to convey some messages in the corporate industries, people don't want to read the text. So this gives me, oh, this is something to do with Microsoft Word. It's a software, so it shows that particular icon and things and so on. Clear? Any questions? All clear with this?
So how did you move this words or like text?
Which is this one?
Ah, not that one. Not the graphic thing.
Ah.
The normal text. This one.
To get this one, what I went is I just went to this particular small arrow you can see here. So here we have a typed text. I just selected this particular text and I just copied and pasted.
Okay.
If there is no image, you have this option is convert to a normal text. So so it will automatically gets converted to a text. So you can convert your text to a smart art or smart art to the text also. Okay. So you have some kind of say life cycle process or something. So you want to explain. So you can just select this particular thing here. So I just go to the insert smart art graphics. So you can see we have a process. Okay, so you're giving a step-by-step process. Say example, I want to say day one, I have this session, day two, I have this session. I want to explain that particular thing. I can just select some of the process here. So I can just select this kind of process and then I can type. So day one, I just say we had the concept of what to say, layout. That is margins and all the things we studied, no? And then I say under layouts, we discussed about margins. We discussed about alignments. Okay, and the second day we learned about bullets and numbers. Here, spell check. So under that, I say we discussed about grammar, thesaurus. So then I say I want to talk about multi-column text. So then we discuss about tabs. Okay. So under tabs, we discussed about say tab, just go down. So we say like, left, say center. So you want to have some kind of information like this, and I say I want this to be formatted to, yeah, change the color. You want to go with multicolors, and then say how you want this. Or I say no, I don't like this process. So you can see layout, we discussed about this, spell check, we discussed about this. So many process joining, something like this. So you can see there is a text also in that. So now see, one thing is like your image with the text you want to display here. So you can select the best type, what is better for this. Okay, so or like, you know, top down approach. So fine, we discussed about this, and then this, then this, or like a process flowing like this. Fine, we can say layouts, then we talk about this, then this, or do this particular job first, then do this, then do this. We can have those particular kind of this one. Okay, or like say example, okay, this is the kind of a process flows or something. So you want to show an hierarchical this one. So hierarchy of an organization. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll just go to the insert, I'll go to the smart art graphics. So we have this kind of a hierarchies. So you can just show an hierarchy of an organization. So who's the director, then who's reporting to whom, and all this thing. I can just select this, say okay. So you can see an hierarchy comes, and here you can see type of text. I just say I want to have say Mr. Sam. So he is a managing director. So fine. So assistant director. Okay, so under Sam, I just say we have say team leads. So one is a technical head. So then we have a marketing head. Then we have a sales head. Now I say under technical head. So I have an employee say thing. So in that case, what I do, I just enter a tab. I just go one level in. So one level in is under technical head. So I just say I have I say person A, then I say person B, then I say person C. You can give the names there. So under marketing head, so we have executive 1, say executive 2, say executive 3, so executive 4 or something. So I say no, 4 is reporting under 3, just give another tab over there. So you can see under marketing head, so we have these 3 people reporting directly to him, but this guy is reporting to him, through him he's reporting to him. So this is under the sales head, we have a sales executive, SE1, say SE2, or say SE3 or something. So it just goes. So under that you want to subdivide, SE2 is reporting to SE1 or something. So you can have a kind of hierarchies like this. So now I just say I want to change the layout of this, look and feel. So obviously once you have given the contents, yeah, so you can change the, so each level you want to have with the different colors. So you can go for it. So these are the team leads. These are the people reporting directly under them, and this is like, you know, reporting to the employees. So this can be again shown with the images. So when I select here, so image, I can just call an image here. Just double click on that. You can browse from your file, or you can get it from the net. I say technical head, I want to call a person. So might be say example. I see. So I'll just call Rabbit. Bangalore person. Fine. So I just want him. Sure. So we can have a person and the details about that. Detailed explanations also can be there. Fine.
Fine, sir.
Okay. So any questions? Okay. Fine. So today's session, so we have seen with this concept of a mail merge. So generally we saw that mail merge is nothing but a concept of joining the letter with the recipient addresses. Okay, so how we want to send the same letter to multiple recipients, so we can maintain the recipient details separately, the address separately, content of the letter separately, we can merge and we can send. That is the thing. Then we discussed about your smart art graphics. Smart art graphics is nothing but, so the text you want to present in a graphical format. So the text data you want to put in a pictorial format, we use this. So this will be very useful when you're creating the contents. Okay, your documentation contents are there. So I'm going to talk about topic 1, 2, 3, or you have some list of data, or it might be like, process flows you want to explain. You want to explain about the hierarchies in the pictorial format where it can be easy to understand in a way. So you don't have to draw manually that particular graphics. They are ready-made templates. With the help of this, we can easily draw the graphics. So when I'm drawing this, we have this particular text pane. So with the help of the text pane, we can easily say what level may you want it, main level or sub level or sub level, and accordingly it will be created. And this can also be created with the graphics. Okay, I think that is fine.